But the Democrats' Soviet-style tactics have alienated their most loyal voting bloc. The mugshot has breathed new life into the Trump campaign and broadened his appeal to black Americans.
For years, conservatives rallied against the glorification of gangster culture and victim mentality, framing them as ills that plagued the black community. Why is there so much violence in black communities? Why do they promote violent rap music?
We didn't really get into mass incarceration, but most people who are behind bars because they committed a violent crime against somebody else.
Why do black people scream that the system, particularly the justice system, is rigged against them, they ask? But as recent events have revealed, conservatives have become convinced that these things they once complained about as being vices are not vices at all, but something to be embraced. And the man who brought them to the light and realization of these truths was none other than the pussy grabber himself, Donald the J. Trump.
When you're a star, they let you do it. You can do anything. Grab them by the pussy.
Following the release of Trump's mugshot from his arrest and release on bond, conservatives found a new way to insult black people. For days, many conservative voices began claiming that Trump's cred with black people has just skyrocketed, as they now saw in him a kindred spirit. They claimed that the hood was now for Trump and that black people can now relate with him as criminals would with one another, because apparently most black people live in the hood and can relate to crime. At this point, you would probably sense that I'm being sarcastic and a bit hyperbolic, but I assure you, this was how the posts slash commentary from these conservative accounts, especially on Twitter, came across.
That mugshot situates Trump in a cultural context that I'm not sure his enemies may have anticipated. Now he joins Frank Sinatra. He joins Elvis Presley. He joins Johnny Cash and Tupac Shakur. And as one black lady I spoke with earlier today here in New Orleans said, Trump's a gangsta. And that means he has cred among a new block of voters that perhaps have never given him a serious look, and now they're looking again.
Self-acclaimed expert on the black community, Dinesh D'Souza tweeted, "In the urban black community, a mugshot can be an iconic symbol, both of victimization and of greatness. It's a defiant up yours to the man. Think Tupac Shakur. Trump is now the ultimate gangster in our culture." What sort of brain-dead take is this? Is Dinesh D'Souza saying gangsterism is now a good thing? Is this really the sort of message that conservatives want to be pushing? How socially unaware is Dinesh D'Souza to not see how much of a bad take this is? The truth is, this is how they see black people, principally as criminals. Crime is the trait they associate most closely with black people. Dinesh was among a long list of conservatives on Twitter who pushed the insulting narrative that Trump was now more relatable to black people because of his mugshot. Another such was Colin Rugg and Alan Beth Stuckey, who may have probably deleted their insane tweets by now. When they got a pushback that it sounded eerily like they were saying that black people can now relate to Trump because he might become a convict, they tried to explain it by saying that Trump was now relatable to black people because he was getting the same unfair treatment from a two-tiered justice system that black people have been complaining about for decades.
A phenomenon that happened that I didn't see coming. I don't know if anyone really saw. You may have seen it, but after the mugshot, over the weekend, the African American community, the black community, is rallying behind Donald Trump, and they're pointing to the mugshot, saying, "Look, we've been saying this all along. We've been getting what the treatment Trump's getting now all along."
For years, conservatives denied the claim by black people that they were being unfairly treated by the justice system. They accused black people of playing the victim. But as soon as Trump gets a treatment they perceive to be unfair, they say, "Ha, black people were right all along. The justice system is two-tiered and indeed broken." My question is, why did they not believe black people all these years, but now believe Trump? Now, I have no idea to what extent the claim of black people being treated unfairly is true. It could be true, it could be false, it could be anywhere in between. But either way, this is not a good look for conservatives. If blacks were right all along, then conservatives deliberately ignored the injustice happening to black people and slandered them for it. If it's false, then they're just making stuff up and lying. Similarly, there were some black conservatives pushing a variant of this weird narrative. Terrence K. Williams tweeted, "Please pray for President Trump's safety. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was assassinated on April 4th, 1968. Former President Donald Trump is being arrested on April 4th, 2023. Now, I'm struggling to see the parallels he's trying to draw. Does he believe that somehow Trump is at risk of being assassinated? Well, most likely he's thinking that Trump is being targeted by the political system, just as Dr. King was. But only one of those two men tried to overturn the outcome of an election by asking for certain votes to be found in his favor.
So, look, all I want to do is this. I just want to find 11,780 votes, which is one more than we have, because we won the state, and flipping the state is a great testament to our country, because, you know, there's just, it's a testament that they can admit to a mistake, or whatever you want to call it, if it was a mistake, I don't know.
Another supposedly black conservative had a t-shirt that read, "Niggers for Trump." If it takes Trump going to jail for any black person to finally embrace him, you know what? That black person wasn't very bright to begin with. If a black person looked at Trump's policies, saw his first name achievements, and says, "Nah, I'm not convinced about him." But now that he might be a convict, I'm suddenly convinced about him enough to vote for him. That's a low quality person. What this revealed is that conservatives are not bound by principles as much as they're bound by ideologies and personalities. That is why it doesn't occur to them how contradictory their words and behavior are to one another. It's the reason why they embrace a character like Andrew Tate or Donald Trump for that matter. I mean, if pimps can be admitted into the conservative fold, why not felons?